We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move. We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move. We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move. We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move. We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move. We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move. We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move. We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. We move. We have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. We move.
What am I looking for? Say my God, it don't mess me up. They giving me you, giving you me. Opposite key fell like just so. Opposite key fell me just me. My baby, you know say you got go me, I go follow away, follow you. Oh, me and you. Okwamona, give my baby, me and you. Okwamona, give my baby. Opposite give and not just so. Opposite give and me just me. My baby, you know, say you got love for me. Hey, I do go. When I call your name, shakara for me. Hey, no, I go be your, you gon' be my Julie. No, I go be your, you gon' be my Julie. Uju, no, I go be your, be gon' be my Julie.
Okay, no problem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I welcome you to this occasion. A few minutes ago, I told you that I'd apologized for not starting by 3 p.m. as earlier communicated, and I said we'll start by 3:30. We're just about 5 minutes shy of 3:30. We're still waiting for 1 or 2 more people, but I can assure you we'll start by 3:30. I just want to crave your indulgence. Thank you very much.
If you leave me, I could die. I swear. You are like the oxygen I need to survive. I'll be honest. Your love ain't it totally me. I am so obsessed. I want to chop your kwabi. Ule, your body they make a wishi. Ule, open up make I see one. You're my love one city. If you make a bad man sing, oh
First steps to taking giant strides as we explore new territories. We move. And because we didn't journey alone, we've built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unbeatable Naija spirit. Still, we move. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. Are you ready? Turn it up as we go on a journey of a lifetime together. We move.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure at this stage you are probably tired of hearing me say good afternoon. But yeah, I can assure you this is going to be the final good afternoon. And see, first and foremost, let me apologize that we are starting way behind schedule. I'd already explained to you why, but one thing I can assure you, the wait will be worthwhile. I want to specially welcome you to this event. My name is Funsho Aino. I work for the widest circulating newspaper in Nigeria. In fact, I'm the Abuja Bureau Chief, and the name of my newspaper is Yellow Times. We are the widest circulating because we are everywhere you go. As you know, the media in any society is a public trust. Our role is a live one. We set agenda and we are very developmental in what we do. But more importantly, the media, as I'm sure you can attest to, we tend to get a front row seat when history is being made. Today, we are on the cusp of history. We are going to make history here today. But out of excitement, I don't want to start giving vote of thanks when I should be doing introductions. So I'll start by making introductions. We are still waiting for 2 more people, but right now, on the high table, I'm going to start with Mrs. Kemi Awodeyin. She's the CEO of Chapel Hill Denham. Chapel Hill Denham is one of our advisors. Mrs. Awodeyin. A round of applause for her. Then next to her is the CEO of MTN Nigeria, Mr. Olutokun Toriola. We are waiting for the president and CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Mr. Temeko Kuola. He's not here yet, but I'm sure he will soon join us. But next to him is Mr. Modupe Kadri. He's our Chief Financial Officer at MTN. Okay, I need to manage your time because you've been here for a very long time. Some of you even got here by 2 p.m. And we really appreciate that. And I know that you are eager to run to your bureau to go and file copies of this story. So we'll just quickly jump into it. And the first item on the agenda is opening remarks by our CEO, Mr. Olutokun Toriola.
All right, check. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the press, good afternoon. It's a real pleasure to have you here. We apologize for keeping you. As you know, there are multiple activities going on in relation to the NGX, and we got slightly delayed as a consequence of this. We apologize once again, and we hope you are relatively comfortable, and at least now we can kick off. My name is Carl Olutokun Toriola. I don't know why a Yoruba boy like Funsho will mispronounce my name as Olutokun. Olutokun. Funsho? I'm delighted to be accompanied here today by Kemi Awodei, Managing Director of Chapel Hill Denham. And of course, my most trusted, most able, and most challenging CFO, Modukwe Kadri. And I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us here today. Today is a remarkable day for me personally and for MTN as an organization, as we further the process of broadening ownership in MTN Nigeria PLC. As you all know, we started our journey in this wonderful country in 2001, and we've worked with a core group of Nigerian investors who provided us with the seed funding and who have been incredible partners over the years as the business has grown and thrived. We marked 20 years of operations in Nigeria this year, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate this milestone than to expand Nigerian participation in the shareholding of MTN Nigeria through the process which we are announcing today. The offer for sale for up to 575 million shares held by MTN Group in MTN Nigeria has been deliberately structured to ensure that it broadens our local shareholder base, providing an opportunity for as many Nigerians as possible to become shareholders in MTN Nigeria and share in the growth and value that this great business creates. To be clear, we are not raising capital. This is a sell down by MTN Group of its shareholding in a structured process from just under 79% to 65%. Also, to be clear, this is absolutely not any form of an exit of MTN Group from Nigeria. There's no MTN Group without MTN Nigeria, and there's no MTN Nigeria without MTN Group. It is genuinely a desire to have as many Nigerians as possible become shareholders in this business and share in the value that we create into the future going forward. So there's no deeper way to deepen the partnership between MTN Nigeria and the community and the people that we serve. Why is it so important to me? We're successful because of our customers. People who queued at the very early days of GSM to spend 20,000 naira to buy a SIM card because it was a scarce commodity. People who started off making their calls under the umbrellas at what we call the call centers, but gradually as the economy and the GDP of this country improved, started to own their phones. And from there migrated from a small voice and SMS only phone now to smartphones. For us to share in the value creation with these customers and also non-customers, it's open to everyone, is something which I think is very important to us in MTN Nigeria and gives us a lot of joy. It is one part of the deepening relationship between MTN Nigeria and this country. We're Nigerian, make no mistake, we're a Nigerian entity. We are led by Nigerians, we are staffed by Nigerians, and we export talent from MTN Nigeria into the rest of MTN Group. Other parts of our partnership is a 1.5 billion naira sponsorship contract with the Nigerian Football Federation. We know that football is at the heart and center of Nigeria and our passion for sports. We've committed to building a world-class, iconoclastic green head office, something that will stand out anywhere you see in Lagos for the company. And we've also committed, under the approval of the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Honorable Minister of Works, to participate in the rehabilitation of the Enugu-Onitsha Dual Lane Expressway. There's a host of these other examples that I can give that really talk about us sharing. I don't like the expression giving back to society. We've been given a lot, but we really want to share. In a way, it is giving back, but I find it slightly patronizing to use that expression. This transaction has been structured to maximize long-term retail participation. So we're bringing to the market a hybrid and digital application process, and I believe it's the first digital application process, and an extensive network of licensed agents to ensure that we have as broad a footprint as possible and as much participation as possible, from the north to the south, from the east to the west of Nigeria. Over the next 2 weeks, this management team in MTN Nigeria, which I have the privilege of leading, is going to crisscross the country. We're going to go to Gombe, Adamawa, Sokoto, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Onitsha, Uyo, everywhere, to talk about the sell down of shares and the opportunity for retail shareholders to share in the value that we create. And it's going to be a pleasure and honor to do so. I'm sure hearing me speak Yoruba, you'll have no doubt that I'm born and bred Nigerian. This offer is the first to provide a paperless subscription channel in Nigeria through the primary offer application administered by the Nigerian Exchange Limited. And this enables retail investors to subscribe for shares electronically. What we're doing is taking the friction out of the process for people to invest in the stock market and in MTN Nigeria specifically. Applications can also be submitted through issuing houses and receiving agents, and those are authorized stockbrokers and Nigerian banks. Our intention, and we hope the press will help us to communicate this as widely as possible, is to build a local shareholder base of more than 2 million Nigerians, while we remain focused on building the largest retail shareholder base in the country. I'm confident that together our future represents the best possible partnership for Nigerians and for MTN. I know there will be a lot of questions from you today, and Modupe is going to take a little session to talk you through some of the issues, and we'll try and make ourselves available to the press to speak to your questions and answer them as much as possible. But before I close out and hand over to Modupe, I do want to say a few very, very special thank yous to a few very, very special institutions, and bang on cue, Temi Kwokwala, the CEO of NGX Limited, walks in. So let me just allow him to have a seat. So the people I really want to say a big and special thank you to are, first of all, the regulatory body that regulates and authorizes this kind of transactions, the Securities and Exchange Commission. Second, to the NGX, Tim Kwokwala and his entire team. The whole purpose, the way I see it, of a stock exchange is to provide the rigor in such transactions to give utmost confidence to investors in what they see in instruments and equities that are listed on the stock market. So we've walked this journey together. The NGX has trained us on the regulations around listed entities. They've guided us. They've provided us with a tremendous amount of support. Temi has been on the phone with me till odd hours of the morning when no one should be awake to make sure this transaction gets landed, along, of course, with our lead financial advisors, Chapel Hill Denham. So I want to say a huge, huge thank you to the NGX and Temi and the entire team. One person which I want to say a very special thank you to has actually left the helm of MTN Nigeria, although he remains on the board of MTN Nigeria. It's my predecessor, Freddie Moman. This journey started with him as the CEO of MTN Nigeria, culminating in us listing by introduction in May 2019. And sometimes I feel like I'm just taking the benefits of a journey and the hard work that him and the rest of the team did. Chapel Hill Denham, lead advisors, thank you very much, Kemi, Bolaji Balogu, Mumunat, Phil, and everyone else who I've forgotten to mention. Stanbic IPTC, also financial advisors, Vetiva, RMB, RenCap, all of the stockbroking community who are supporting us to land this deal when we close it out in a very positive manner, the registrars and the banks and financial institutions. And last but not the least, the press, you guys who are here today, and have really started to buy into our belief and our transformation of MTN Nigeria into a true, complete, accepted Nigerian entity. MTN Nigeria is Nigerian. We are Niger. We are proudly Niger. And finally, we move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toriola. I know you've already introduced Mr. Temi Popola, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, but sir, please take a bow, sir. Mr. Popola, CEO, Nigerian Stock Exchange. We also have Mr. Bolaji Balogun, the CEO of Chapel Hill Denham, one of our advisors on this transaction. You are welcome, Mr. Balogun. Okay, so before I hand over the mic to our CFO, Mr. Modupe Kadri, can I just crave your indulgence to please put your phones in the silent mode? I mean, I would have said perhaps you should just switch them off, but I'm still in the business of airtime vending. We still need to do business and make money. So please, just put them in silent mode. Thank you very, very much. So I'll hand over the microphone to Mr. Modupe Kadri. Thank you, sir.
Right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Thank you, Carl, for setting the scene. Standing on existing protocols, we do apologize for the late start. As stated earlier, there are a lot of events going on. So I'd like to provide some more details about the offer that we are launching tomorrow. The public offer is by way of a book build to qualified investors, which is the institutional offer that closed a week earlier, and a fixed price to the retail investors, which is the retail offer that's starting effectively tomorrow. The book build process was to enable price discovery. It helped us to understand demand and price sentiments from qualified investors. It opened on the 23rd of November and closed on the 26th of November. Now, the retail offer period is going to be open for 2 weeks and is to enable as many retail shareholders as possible to afford them the opportunity to participate in this exercise. During this time, MTN shares will continue to be traded on the NGX, so there is a live quote on the NGX. I'll talk about that in a moment. Accordingly, the price of the shares was determined at the close of the book build process that evaluated the following conditions to determine the price of the offer. The first one was the quantum of the demand for the shares in the book build. Second is the prevailing market conditions, and then the need to ensure an orderly aftermarket. The market price of MTN shares immediately prior to the close of the book build, what they call the VWAP, the volume weighted average price of MTN shares prior to 2 months. It's actually the 60-day VWAP, and as a base to determine the price. So accordingly, a minimum of 10% of the shares in this offer is being offered to the institutional investors by the way of book build, while the remaining 90% of the shares are now going to be offered to retail shareholders at a fixed price of 169 naira. Now, as of today, the closing price of MTN on the stock exchange was 190 naira. So that offers instantly a discount of 11.05% of the live price, or 21 naira per share. So the offer will open at 8 a.m. tomorrow, 1st of December 2021, and will close at 5 p.m. on the 14th of December 2021. The minimum subscription is 20 shares in lots of 20 shares thereafter. So you buy 20 shares, 40, 60, and so on and so forth. Now, a good thing about this offer is that it includes an incentive of 1 free share for every 20 shares you buy or purchase, up to a maximum of 250 shares per investor. So you have to work that out. That just means that for every 20 shares, you will be paying, you get 21 shares for the price of 20 shares, provided you hold those stock from after allotment for 1 year. So in other words, if you don't dispose of the share within 12 months, on the anniversary of the allotment, you will get that extra share, up to a maximum of 250 shares per investor. So as Carl said in his comments, there are a wide variety of channels that interested investors can use to apply, including the primary offer app, which we're particularly delighted about. The app is a collaboration between the NGX and, to enable people offer or to participate in this offer through a digital platform that will enable things to be done almost seamlessly. And if you want to apply through the traditional physical channels, that will also be available. So you'll be able to download forms, your websites, physical forms, or visit your broker or any of those channels. So you just contact your stockbroker or bank or any of the issuing houses, and you'll be assisted. There are also customer support lines that have been set up if people have questions or need assistance. These are 080 MTN offer, which is, you transcribe that. Somebody can transcribe that for me. I'll get you the full digits if you are not using a alpha numeric phone, but ideally, I will be able to tell you what it is in digits, but it's 080 MTN offer, and 0700 468 3786 2452, which is MTN offer. I presume that's what the MTN offer is. Right. So more information is available at the website at mtnonline.com/PO. And the number is 0806 866 337, which is equivalent to MTN offer. More information is available at www.mtnonline.com/PO. Thank you once again for listening, and back to you, Funsho.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Mr. Kadri, please. I'm sure you're all dying to ask follow-up questions. Trust me, you are going to have that opportunity. But before we do that, I want to call on the CEO of Nigerian Exchange Limited. Initially, I called it Stock Exchange. I'm very sorry about that, sir. Mr. Temi Popola, the CEO of Nigerian Exchange Limited, to give us his remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Toriola, the CEO for MTN Nigeria. May I please ask that I stand on existing protocol, and let me apologize firstly for coming late, and I think maybe in some sense for the lateness to the event. The exchange had an event earlier today. I suspect it's part of the reasons that this started late. I'd also try to keep my remarks short, just because I'm sure that we are pressed for time. There are a few things I would like to say about this offer. First and foremost is that it's something that we are remarkably excited about as an exchange, as an institution. And I think as Carl spoke earlier, he made some comments that resonated with me, where he spoke to his predecessor and said that perhaps he, Carl, is benefiting from some processes that had started before now. I think I can say the same about myself and the exchange. This process is similar. I've just recently joined the exchange, so we also benefit from that momentum that had started. But we have no doubt about just the ability for this transaction to, frankly speaking, change the face of capital markets investing in our nation. I think we go back to a few African countries. MTN has demonstrated that with the offers similar to this that they did. So the exchange has invested quite a lot of resource, notably human resource and time, into making sure that we can get this transaction to where it is today. And what are the things that excite us about the transaction? There are a few things. One is investor confidence. For a long time, we've spoken about just the absence of retail in our market as a capital market, and particularly the exchange. We've spoken about the absence also of a certain geography and demography of Nigerians from the exchange. And we think that a deal like this would really help us address that. So just everything around investor confidence, financial literacy. Of course, when you think through a lot of the publicity that would come with this, we think that would help to drive that. The second thing is also what I call the sheer number of investors on the exchange and in the capital markets. The figures of the current active investors is very low today. And part of our dream and hope is that this transaction will single-handedly change that to several multiples of what we currently have today. That is remarkable. The third and I think most important thing about this transaction is that it would be the first offer in the Nigerian capital markets history that would be end-to-end digital as far as the way you subscribe. So in other words, you can just from the comfort of your home through a device or a computer invest in this offer in the space of minutes, under 5 minutes. It's never happened before. And I think this is really remarkable. Of course, we've gotten that far with work with MTN itself, with the issuing houses, particularly the lead issuing house. And this gives us a lot of optimism around this transaction. I think the exchange, as we've always engaged with the media, have made clear that a lot of that messaging will rely on the media for. And I'm really glad to have this opportunity to discuss this. I'll end with just some perhaps appreciation. First and foremost is to the apex regulator of the capital markets, the SEC. Mr. Toriola spoke to that when he was speaking. We have enjoyed tremendous, I would say remarkable support from the SEC as we got involved with this. I do thank them very much for that. Second is Chapel Hill. Really on behalf of all of the issuing houses, they've, I think in our view, done a very good job at just coordinating and quarterbacking the entire process to make sure that every obstacle that has come up, we have found ways to surmount together. And it gives us confidence that as we go into this journey, as we start tomorrow, actually it started last week as the CFO said, but as we start this retail offer tomorrow, we feel confident that the process we would overcome. Finally is to the issuer, to MTN. I've been quite clear to management of MTN that we really have no doubt in our mind about what this transaction can do. The exchange has enjoyed tremendous support from them. I think as Mr. Toriola said, we've been speaking at odd hours and just really doing everything to make sure that both on this transaction, but again, wider to this transaction, that there is a very healthy collaboration and level of working with. So really glad about this day. We think it's momentous and we look forward to this process being a successful one. Thank you very much.
Applause for Mr. Popola. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so at this stage, we will take questions. And before you ask your question, we want you to identify yourself and the media organization that you represent. And please, one more time, I want to crave your indulgence. We'll appreciate it if you can limit your line of questioning to this offer. Please, just this offer. If there are other things you want to know, you can, we can take it offline. You can ask me after. But all your questions here, please, restrict them to the offer. So please, your name and your platform. And I can assure you that, we'll answer all your questions. We don't have to phone a friend, ask the audience, or do 50-50. Okay. Please. Although I know your name, but I want you to say it yourself.
Good afternoon, MD. My name is Issa Abdoha from New Telegraph Newspapers. First and foremost, let me congratulate the board and management of MTN for this loud debut initiative. Some investors in the village, they are probably primitive. They might not have access to a channel we're going to use to advertise this offer. How are you going to get across to them?
First of all, look, this is a process. This is a three-stage process of a gradual sell-down of MTN's group stake, and I've reiterated MTN Group is not exiting Nigeria at all. We are firmly committed and remain in Nigeria. And the reason we did it in 3 stages was to actually gradually acclimatize the market to an offer like this and give enough opportunity for people to buy in multiple phases. So it's not a one-shot, you are in or you are out kind of question. So phase 1, we have a very, very aggressive is maybe the wrong word, but a very, very pushful, communicative theme and marketing campaign. And somewhere is my chief marketing officer. I always like to embarrass her. Adia, stand up, please. She is in charge, of course, guided by the regulator and the NGX in communicating to subscribers through all channels possible. So you will see it on billboards already today. You'll see messaging that starts off being subtle, a journey of a lifetime that's being communicated. You'll see this on electronic forms, YouTube. We will campaign within every means that is allowed from a regulatory perspective to every customer possible. As I've said, myself and the rest of the management team, and I actually missed out thanking them, people like Ishmael, Uto, our company secretary, they're all here, are going to travel across the country, starting on Thursday. On Thursday, I'm in the north. On Friday, I'm in the south of the country. I could give you city by city everywhere we're going to, but for security reasons, we won't state it out there. But look, we are going to Gombe. We are going to Yola. We are going to every part of this country. Of course, we can't reach every single village, but all the major urban centers to explain this offer and talk about MTN, the history and the future, and why we're the best governed, why we have a lot of runway ahead of us in terms of growth, margins, expansion, etc. So every means possible that is allowed by the regulatory bodies is going to be used to communicate this offer to every Nigerian possible in local language, in their local capital cities, in a variety of press outlets and in a variety of media. And we hope it will get heard far and wide. I mean, another thing that we think is a good story to tell is we listed in May 2019 at about 91 naira. 91 naira. We're, sorry? 90, okay. The first trade maybe was at 91 naira. And we are trading somewhere around 190 naira today over 2 years. And so that's good capital appreciation. Personally, I think that there's still a long way to go because we haven't had enough shares of MTN traded on the stock exchange to allow for discovery. And once we have completed this phase of this transaction, there will be a lot of shares, there will be much better price discovery, and I think people will see the value and the quality of governance of this institution. I think that was a long-winded answer. So, Issa, thank you very much. I hope I've answered your question. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Toriola. You, sir. Please go to the mic. You will identify yourself, your platform, and your question.
Thank you very much. My name is Mark Sibo from Leadership Newspapers. I just want to know if there is a benchmark to how much MTN is hoping to raise through this offer. What is the amount MTN is looking up to so as we will know when it is oversubscribed or undersubscribed?
I mean, I know the answer, but
Thank you.
I should let Temi and Co respond to that, or Bolaji.
MTN is, good afternoon everyone. Firstly, may I also offer an apology for turning up late. My name is Mobolaji Balogun. I work for MTN, if they will permit me. You could see Mr. Toriola laughing there. That's a long story for another day, but we'll tell it sometime soon. This offer is Series 1 in a number of planned offerings by MTN. 575 million shares at 169 naira per share are being offered, which will deliver proceeds of approximately 97 billion, if I'm correct. But MTN will also use what we call a green shoe, which is that in the event of an oversubscription, up to another 15% of those shares will be available on offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Balogun. Do we have other questions? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Onyemachukwu from Business Day. So in addition to what Mark just asked, can we get a sense of the level of subscription, you had or recorded, during the institutional offer, so to speak? During your offer to institutions, can we get a sense of?
I will say to you that the institutional book build was very strong, very, very strong. However, MTN has always had one stated objective, and that objective is that MTN would like as many Nigerians as possible to be co-owners in what we consider to be Nigeria's best-run business. And if they allowed some of us, we would be looking to create a transaction where 70, 80 million Nigerians will participate in this transaction. And given that, therefore, there will be a significant preference for retail, and that is part of the structure that has been approved by the SEC. So the idea is that retail will basically end up being allocated a large portion of this transaction at the end of Series 1.
Okay, Mr. Balogun. Do we have other questions? Wow. I thought everyone would be eager to ask questions in view of the earth-shaking announcements that you've had here today. But it's okay. If there are no more questions, I guess we'll just round up. We are conscious of the fact that normally this is the time that you rush to the newsrooms to file your copies, and we've really kept you here for long.
For
so
sure.
On that note,
For sure.
Sorry?
For sure. But, just let me make it's me.
Sorry?
I want to make a comment just before you round up, as a follow-up to the last question, because it's important we have clarity. I know Carl has said it previously. MTN Nigeria is not raising money. It's very important that that message goes out. It's a case of the shareholder selling his shares. So that's the first message. The second key message is what Bolaji just said, that in the event that the 575 million shares are oversubscribed for whatever reason, the MTN group is prepared to put another 15%. That amounts to 86 million extra shares. So the size of this deal potentially is 661 million shares available. So I think, because there are sometimes people are asking if the institutional investors have taken everything. There's so much shares at the retail. And I'm sure Temis here can tell you how many companies on the stock exchange have that, the quantity of shares on offer as the entire share capital, just to put it in context for your messaging to the people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kadri, for that clarification. Yes, more? Okay, Mr. Balogun.
If I might, on behalf of all of the issuing party, and I'll just mention all of our colleagues one by one, because we have a number of the leaders of those firms, present here. RENCAP, Sheon Onoiga, RMB Chidi Uchuku, Stambik, Funsho Akere, Vertiva, my brother, he's my own generation, that's why I call him my brother, Chuka Eseka. On behalf of the issuing party, There is one last statement that I'd like to make. If you've never ever bought a share in Nigeria and you're going to buy one share, this is the one. This is by a significant way Nigeria's best run business. It's one of Nigeria's biggest businesses by revenue generated. It is Nigeria's strongest business by profitability. It is the Nigerian business that has the strongest dividend payout culture and payout ratio. This is a business which typically pays out a minimum of 2 dividends a year. So if this is the first time you're thinking about buying shares, I would encourage you, as I will do. I'm a man of many children. I have 5 children, and I have many other children. And not only will I buy some for myself, but I will buy for all of those children. And I will buy for other people. I'm buying for my driver, my security man. Every Nigerian should own a share of this company.
I'm feeling left out.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm a man of only one child.
Yes. You have the floor, sir.
Or as we say in my village, a weak man. But look, I'm not... I have the privilege of leading this organization. And the biggest mark of my belief in the potential of this organization, both in terms of the market spaces we operate, the country we operate, and in the management team that we have here, is something I did in January with the approval of the company secretariat, the chairman, and the Nigerian Stock Exchange notifying them. I leveraged myself to buy a significant number of shares in MTN Nigeria. When I leverage, it means I'm going to have to pay some interest for that debt, a good chunk of which is paid out of the dividends which I get. But the reason I did it because I really believe there's a lot of capital appreciation in this business. And over and beyond whatever compensation I get from MTN Nigeria, there's an opportunity for me in a transparent manner to create value for myself. And as we're doing this secondary offer, I'm going to once again buy into it with my own money, not money that's dashed to me by MTN. So I believe in it. I believe in this management team. We are grounded, we are humble, we are customer focused, we are compliant to the regulators, and I think we're just so important to the development of this country as a whole. So as Bolaji said, I will replicate what he's doing with only one child, but lots of staff and family around us. And I hope that in 2 years you judge us by the value that's been created by for the shareholders of MTN Nigeria. Thank you. I just felt left out.
Thank you, officers. Thank you so very much. You've heard it all. I was going to tell you that as journalists, you've been part of this journey with us since 2001. You are valued stakeholders to us. We've enjoyed the cross-fertilization of ideas over time, and all the reportage, very prominent, and how you've given our stories preferential treatment. I just want to urge you that as stakeholders, continue to be part of this journey by buying MTN shares. I mean, you will never regret it. On that note, we thank you all for taking the time to be here with us. We don't want to keep you here for too long because we know you want to go and rush and file this earth-shaking news story that's going to make the front page of all the papers tomorrow. Thank you so very much. We are going to have photo ops after at that media wall. Thank you, and God bless you all. Yeah.
O'clock in the morning, getting set for another day.
Please.
Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person. But life is just they knock me baskos. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to recover. If you never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe say I go surely prosper. You don't get that shit, won't be. We move. No matter what they say, we move.
Whatever life brings, we move. Turn up your dreams. MTN, everywhere you go.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, no. But life is just ain't at me move. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover. If you never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe say I go surely prosper.
Can you do thumbs up to MTN? Thumbs up. Thumbs up to MTN. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, Mr. Toriola. Double thumbs up. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are okay. All right. Yes. So let's just have the 4. Let's just have the 4. Yes. Thank you very much. Let's do this. Let's do this quickly. Let's do this quickly. Thank you. Let's do this quickly. Another thumbs up. Thumbs up. MTN. Good. 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 Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Our company secretary is Adia. Where's Adia? Adia. Where's Toby? Where's Toby? Okay. Where's Adia? Okay. Adia. Toby, where's Toby? Okay.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Toby, and you remove your mask, please. You remove your mask.
Another chance to change my story.
Okay. Remove the mask, please. Okay. So, first round. First round. Then thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up to MTN. Toby, thumbs up. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, we are done. Thank you. So, but we need you to stay back here. We have electronic media interviews. But there's also a MOU signing there. Just want to quickly do it. Channels, arise. Your interviews. Channels, arise. We are done with pictures. Come and conduct the interviews, please. They are coming. Sorry, you need to. You are done. We are done taking pictures.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person.
Channels and arise. We are waiting, please.
But life is just ain't at me move. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover. wahala hold me down. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't go let wahala hold me down. Oh yeah. I don't go let wahala hold me down. I don't go let wahala hold me down.
No matter what they say, we move. We move. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. No matter what they do, we move. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I don't go let wahala hold me down.
Whatever life brings, we move. Turn up your dreams. MTN, everywhere you go.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, oh. But life is just stay at me gospel. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover. If you never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I go surely prosper. You don't get that, say, won't be, we move. No matter what they do, we move. Ooh, yeah. Say, we move. No matter what they do, we move. I don't go let wahala hold me down. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't go let wahala hold me down. Oh yeah. I don't go let wahala hold me down. I don't go let wahala hold me down.
No matter what they say, we move. We move. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. No matter what they do, we move. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I don't go let wahala hold me down.
Whatever life brings, we move. Turn up your dreams. MTN, everywhere you go.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, oh. But life is just stay at me gospel. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover. If you never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I go surely prosper. You don't get that, say, won't be, we move. No matter what they do, we move. Ooh, yeah. Say, we move.
seen the September numbers. Excellent management team, and in an industry that has, I can't say infinite, but a tremendous amount of growth potential out there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Except if you have any other thing to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, but life is just a not me gospel. If it don't close, I go find
Timmy
another.
Waller,
If I
the
fall down,
CEO for Nigerian Exchange Limited.
Yeah, so we've just been told that you are like the regulator of the industry. What do you have to tell us about this? What's your perception or your view about this offer that MTN is offering to Nigerians on this day?
Well, firstly, the regulator for the industry is the Securities and Exchange Commission. And NGX, who I am Chief Executive Officer for, is the exchange on which this listing is being done. That's the first thing. The second is that the tool through which we're doing the distribution for the offer is a digital platform, a digital application. It's the first of its kind in the Nigerian capital markets, and this is being sponsored by NGX, the exchange. So this will be the first offer that you would be able to invest in end-to-end in the space of minutes, all digitally, without really any paper. So there will be a paper part to this process, as we've always done historically. But if you chose to, in 3-4 minutes, you can invest in this offer. Whether you've invested before on the Nigerian capital market or whether you're an existing investor, you'd be able to do that through this application that we have put together.
Two. But is there any other thing you'd like to add to what you've said?
Sure, yes. So we are certainly firmly of the view that this is a landmark transaction for the Nigerian capital markets. We say this because if we look across Africa and look across MTN's footprints in capital markets across several African countries where they have done issuances like this, we have seen a transformational impact on those markets. And we do think that this is such a moment for the Nigerian capital markets. Two things that we think will happen. One is to unlock a new wave of retail investors into the Nigerian capital market. So just the absolute number of retail investors that we have on our market, to expect this to make that multiples of the existing number. And number two is really around just the deepening of our markets. We think that this offer would lead to a lot more trading on the floor of the exchange, which should really ultimately then deepen our capital markets. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hold on. I believe.
it's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story.
Your designation.
My name is Bolaji Balogun. I work for Chapel Hill Denham. Chapel Hill Denham are the lead issuing house to the MTN offer for sale.
So, would like to know the involvement of your organization in what MTN is doing today, and how you think this would maybe benefit or make impact in the Nigerian economy.
So we've been responsible working with MTN for a number of years, preparing for this day that has come tomorrow. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank the SEC for the incredible and supportive role that they have played in this journey to get us here. I'd like to acknowledge the very important role played by the NGX, most especially.
Mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2.
The leadership
Memorandum of
Nigeria
Understanding,
Exchange
check,
Limited.
check. I'd like to acknowledge the role that's been played by all of the other issuing houses on this transaction, from Renca to RMB to Stanbic IBTC and Vertiva, who are working with us, at Chapel Hill Denham. Most importantly, I'd like to thank MTN for giving all of us this opportunity. It's an incredible opportunity because in many, many respects, MTN's strong performance, MTN's history, of governance is easy to sell. I said something much earlier that if you've never ever bought a share in Nigeria and you were only going to buy one share, this is probably the one. I will be, all things being equal, buying some for myself, buying for my children, and buying for all of my staff around me, because I think that if everyone has only one investment on Nigeria's stock exchange or Nigeria's exchange, this is the one.
Thank you. Your name once again.
Bolaji Balogun, Chapel Hill, Denham.
Denham. D-N-H-A-M. That's correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're grateful.
Giving me a percentage of
No problem.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, but life is just a knock me gospel. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover. If it never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I will surely prosper. You don't get that see one be, we move. No matter what they do, we move. Ooh, yeah. Say we move. No matter what they do, we move. I don't go let Wahala hold me down. Oh, yeah.
Quickly, as you know, the exchange has always leveraged the partners in our bid to deepen and grow the capital markets. And as you also know, we demutualized earlier this year, which ultimately separated our regulatory function and our operational function as an exchange. What that presented for us is an opportunity to expand our partnerships beyond capital markets to include our listed companies. And of course, MTN, being an important member of the exchange, an important listed company of the exchange, presented as the right kind of partner that we needed, and we wanted to associate ourselves with for the purposes of deepening the capital markets. And of course, through several rigorous engagements with MTN, we are here to essentially formalize the partnership that we've, I guess, been brewing for several months. And that's the culmination of the signing of the MOU that's going on today. So thank you.
So look, as we've said in various communications, there are a few things which MTN Nigeria wants to achieve. We want to be true partners to critical institutions that further and advance the economy of this country. And one of the major institutions, as has been discussed in the NGX conference today, that can really drive the advancements of this economy with access to debt and equity markets is the NGX. I feel that Timmy and I, and the entire team feels that there's a unique opportunity and synergy between MTN and the NGX. The NGX brings so much value to the table. That's been demonstrated by the announcement of the retail offer we have here. But the value they bring to the table is really tapping into a variety of markets, ensuring we're properly regulated, training and developing the organization, seeing the opportunities that capital markets create for institutions, for the wider society, for stakeholders, for government. And MTN on its part is a digital company that's transforming the environment and the lives that we live through modern world-class communication services and access to those kind of services. And as the world goes digital, be it on entertainment, banking, education, health, and everything else, it's only natural that we explore through this MOU methods in which we can work together to accelerate the digitization and the progress of this country. So I'm really, really proud. I want to say immeasurable thank yous to Temi and his entire team, and Temi's board, of course, for giving us all the support, and assure them that we will, beyond the execution of this MOU, as we put to bed the offer, which is a big part of the discussion that we have, we will now really advance the technology steps we can take, the customer-focused steps that we can take to transform both our businesses. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Toriola. I think all I will do is just echo some of the comments that Mr. Toriola has made. As an institution, the exchange, many of you will be aware that we went through a corporate restructuring. And today what we have, the Nigerian Exchange Limited, now has what we call the flexibility to explore partnerships that we think would help us further drive in an accelerated manner some of our corporate goals and objectives. And very quickly, what are these goals and objectives? We have a very strong desire to democratize finance in Nigeria. In other words, we have a desire to make sure that retail investors really can get access to financial services, to capital market services, and thereby be able to create wealth for themselves. We have a desire also to support some of the government work around some of the collective challenges that face us as a nation. And thirdly is also a desire to attach technology and to be more sort of technology focused in our processes and our operations and our service delivery. The exchange, of course, has had a very long, rich history in how we consume technology, but a big part of our future is further entrenched in that. And this is really what has led us to this partnership with MTN. We see very similar goals and ambitions with MTN. There is, of course, things like the retail offer that they are bringing, or the offer that they're bringing to the exchange that we have discussed. But over and beyond that, it is really a partnership that can connect what is our future with their future, and we think that together we can achieve a lot more. That's really what has led us here. I think, as Mr. Toriola said, we are certainly very excited when we think about just the numerous options and potentials that such a partnership brings to the table. And we look forward to giving you more updates on this as time progresses. Thank you.
Ops time now. Let's just do photo op so that we can be on our way. Thank you. That's the end of the MOU signing ceremony. Please remove the table and the chairs.
o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person.
Thank you.
If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover. If it never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I go surely prosper. You don't get that say one be, we move. No matter what they do, we move. Ooh, yeah. Say we move. No matter what they do, we move. I don't go let wahala hold me down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so very much. Thank you all for coming. Yeah. Bye-bye. Give you this.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person. But life is just a knock me gospel. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to cover. If it never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I go surely prosper. You don't get that say one be, we move. No matter what they do, we move. Ooh, yeah. Say we move. No matter what they do, we move. I don't go let wahala hold me down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't go let wahala hold me down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't go let wahala hold me down. I don't go let wahala hold me down.
Whatever life brings, we move. Turn up your dreams. MTN, everywhere you go.
We have come a long way together from our first steps to taking giant strides as we conquered new territories. And because we didn't journey alone, we have built Africa's favorite network with the power of possibilities, community support, and the unstoppable Naija spirit. Still, we move. We are about to set out again, and there's no one we would rather set out with than you. Are you ready? Turn it up as we go on the journey of a lifetime together. We move.